Get ready because I'm about to teach you how you can always be healthy. Yeah, girl, you heard me right. Always be healthy. I am not blowing that always out of proportion here. If you're new to this channel, my name is Dr. Bisley Natley. I'm the holistic brain doctor, and I teach women how to optimize their brain health so that they can cope better and step into their peak potential and basically build their most amazing, authentic lives ever. Being healthy, we've made this so much harder than it needs to be. And I know that you probably feel that. You're probably just like, being healthy is hard. And honestly, girl, so much of this is also not your fault, because I just find that the world that we live in and so many of the external factors that we don't have control over have made it really difficult for us to be healthy. Being unhealthy in our day and world is so easy. It's so easy. Every corner you turn, I'm in Canada, so it's like Tim Hortons, or there's like a McDonald's, or there's like a Starbucks. Like, the convenience of unhealthy foods is unreal. I know that the big companies are like, no one's forcing you to eat a McChicken or whatever it is. But like, the other thing too is that these foods are just so hyper palatable. They're just so addictive. And when we eat these really hyper palatable foods, it actually activates the addiction centers in our brain. So when we eat foods that are, really sugary and carby, and, they make our taste buds run wild, they literally light up areas in our brain that get lit up when we do drugs. And that's why these foods are just so addictive. And so, these foods are so convenient. They're so addictive. So obviously it's so hard to be healthy. If you're used to just constantly eating out all the time and you're used to constantly eating junk food, then good luck trying to eat a broccoli. You're going to have a broccoli and be like, ew, this is disgusting, because your taste buds are just so used to hyper palatable foods. And fresh whole foods just honestly aren't as hyper palatable. So even just transitioning from unhealthy to healthy foods, it can take us some time to do that. The other thing too is that one of the reasons we are so unhealthy as well, and this is actually something that we have control over, is we're just all so freaking busy. So busy. We're just so busy. It's like every single hour is just jam-packed and stacked with stuff. And it really doesn't need to be. You have to sometimes even just take a look back at your life and just ask yourself, how can I simplify my life more? We're like running to like this store, we're like meeting this friend, and we have to go to this family member, and now we have to do like this class or whatever it is. And it's just like, let's simplify our life, because the more complicated that life feels, the harder that our life feels, the busier that our life feels, the less that we're going to actually prioritize and make time for our health. So we really have to take a step back and ask ourselves, how can I simplify things more so that I can make time and room for my health? This isn't even one of the tips that I was going to share, but like, this can be a bonus tip, literally a bonus tip. Simplify your life more as much as possible. I know I've been talking to my cousin the other day on the phone, and she told me her mantra for this new year is to simplify. And I think that's such a beautiful mantra to have, because we just complicate our lives so much. We make ourselves so unnecessarily busy. And I even constantly have to reflect and look at my life on a weekly basis, because I have the limiting belief that success is hard. So, I gotta catch myself. I used to have the limiting belief that success is hard. I used to believe that, but I don't anymore. Gotta catch ourselves. I used to believe that. And so I would find ways to constantly make things harder than they needed to be. So I have to constantly check in and make sure. And I'm just like, have I made this be as easy as possible? How can I make this be even easier? Because the simpler things are, the better that we can show up for them. And it actually allows us to make room and time for the other things that are important to us. So I'm really going to be diving deep into this video as to what are some of those aspects when it comes to being healthy that you can embody in your life so that you can be healthy all the time. And really what I'm going to focus on in this video is if you want to be healthy all the time, you have to make health be a mindset. It is something that you have to wake up and think about and intentionally think about on an everyday basis. That is truly the only way that we can be healthy in our current day and age. When I started to see health as this mindset, everything changed for me. When I started to wake up and ask myself, how can I be healthy today? Everything literally changed for me. Because some of us, will be healthy for a little bit, but then we'll get off track, and it's because we stop thinking about our health mindset. And that's what I'm truly sharing here today is how can you embody this health mindset so that you can wake up and be healthy every single day. And here's the thing I want to emphasize. Being healthy every day and always doesn't mean that you don't allow yourself to indulge. Being healthy always, I'm referring to focusing on health 80, 90%, and then letting yourself indulge that next 10%. Like yesterday, for example, I went to this vegan bakery and I got myself this vegan Ferrero Rocher donut. So delicious. If any of you live in Toronto, Canada, it is Bloomers on Queen Street. Mwah. Oh, so good. Love them. I had a donut, but yesterday I was so healthy despite me having this donut. I woke up at 5 a.m. I went to the gym. I got in 10,000 steps on top of going to the gym. I had lots of vegetables, healthy proteins during the day. And so I still had an extremely healthy day, but I did allow myself that donut in the middle of my day, and there's nothing wrong with that. So that's how when I say the health mindset, I don't mean that you can't ever indulge or have things that aren't ever unhealthy. Because we're not trying to be perfect here. You got to live your life too. And the more you restrict, the more it ends up biting you in the butt. I know done that. So first step, if you want to embody the health mindset, what do you need to do? I mentioned this a little bit before, but I'm going to dive deeper into it, is health has to be an everyday thing. Everyday thing. When I wake up, there isn't a single day that goes by that I ask myself, how can I be healthier? What can I do that aligns with health today? And I'm constantly refining my strategies. I'm constantly thinking about this on an everyday basis. The moment you stop thinking about health and incorporating health in your life is the moment that you stop being healthy. That is straight up the truth. So if you want to be healthy, it has to literally be an everyday thing. So when you wake up, it's prioritize your health. What would health do? Right? And you got to start thinking about it every single day. When you plan out your week, did you make time for health? Right? And these are the other tips that I'm kind of sharing here. But health needs to be an everyday thing that you embody in your life. And there can't be a day that you go without thinking about it. And health might look different for you on different days. Some days health looks like a really hard workout. Other days health looks like something gentle or just focusing on walking. So health can change, but it has to be an everyday thing. Number 2 is that you have to plan for it, girl. You have to plan for it. If you don't plan for health, I always say this, then you are planning for disease. As I mentioned before in the beginning, it is just so easy for us to be unhealthy because of the convenience of unhealthy foods, the hyperpalatability of unhealthy foods. We're so busy. So reaching for something unhealthy just becomes then that much easier. And this is why more than ever, you really need to make sure that you are planning and making time for your health, because before you realize it, you're unhealthy again, right? And that's because you didn't actively, intentionally plan for the health that you should have been planning for. Very, very important to keep in mind. The more that you plan for health, the healthier that you will be. So when you plan your week on a weekly basis, plan for health. When you wake up and you plan your day, make sure that you made room for health. Something that I've intentionally started doing is I will take 15, 20-minute walking breaks during my day. And that's how I've planned for my health. And I should make a whole other video on just like walking. I've really been more intentional about getting in about 7,000 steps every single day. And most days I'll actually do more than that. And wow, it has made such a massive impact on my mental health, on just how I'm feeling in general. And it's been really, really amazing. So I would encourage you, like, make time and space and room for health, plan for it. The more that you plan for health, the healthier you'll be. And really, girl, this goes for like anything else in your life, right? Whatever you plan for, you prioritize, and whatever you prioritize will flourish in your life. So if you want your health to flourish, if you want this year to be your healthiest year, girl, then I encourage you, plan for health as much as possible. Number 3 tip that I have, which is going to be a really good one, you're going to like it, is reframing health as easy and fun. A lot of us, when we think about health, take a moment right now. When you think about health, what are the things coming up in your mind right now? Like, take a moment right now to think about it. Health. What are the first few words that come up in your mind? I'm thinking about it for myself too. So, caveat, I feel like the words coming up for me right now might be different for you because I am very much in practice of incorporating health, and I like to consider myself a very healthy person, which was honestly proved by my blood work this time too. So that was great. But when I think about when I wasn't as healthy or I wasn't prioritizing health as much, if I had asked myself what comes to my mind when I think of health, I would have said restriction. I would have said hard. I would have said boring. All of these types of things. And maybe these are some of the words that might have, or like confusion, because I'm like, I don't know where to start. Frustration, because maybe you've tried and you just kind of figure out a way that you can be as healthy as possible, right? So these are some of the most common words that come up in our minds when we think about health. And when you think about it, it's like, no wonder we can't be healthy. Like, no wonder. If you see health as hard, as boring, as restriction, or you're going to be very restricted and limited, you're never going to want to do it. When were you ever excited for something that was hard and boring? Never, right? Like, you were literally never excited for something that was hard and boring. So if you see health as hard and boring, you're never going to be excited for it. And you're actually going to resist planning for it that much more in your life. So, by far, one of the absolute best things that you can do for yourself right now is to start seeing health as fun and easy. Start reframing it in your mind. It is absolutely wild how powerful this works when you combine it with action. If you don't know me and me talking about this as much, but I have a hate-love relationship with affirmations because I think they can be beautiful, but only when they're combined with action, right? It's not enough to be like, health is so easy, but then you're just like sitting and scrolling on Netflix. Like, no, right? Or you're like having like a Big Mac. No. You have to combine that with the action steps. So when you start to take the action steps towards becoming healthier, start telling yourself like, this is easy and fun. What's great about looking at health in this way too is you can start to ask yourself, how can I make this be more easy and more fun? And I think that that's another really beautiful way to look at it, because sometimes, again, as I mentioned before, I complicate things all the time in my life. I make things way harder than they need to be. So when you constantly think about how can I make this more easy and fun? So maybe you're like meal prepping. Maybe you play your favorite music. Maybe you're actually meal prepping things that you like to eat, and you're not just following some sort of influencer's meal prep and you like literally hate all the foods, right? Or you're getting like fun little containers and you're getting all creative and making it look all cool and aesthetic, right? And this is like your little Sunday date with yourself where you meal prep, So think about how you can make this be more fun. Likewise, think about how you can make this be more easy for yourself. Maybe waking up and going to the gym for you doesn't feel easy, but waking up and going to a fitness class, that feels fun and easy because you're around other people and you feel that motivation. So You have this power as to how you see health. So start thinking about your beliefs behind health. Start thinking about the mindset that you have around health and start seeing how you can start reframing health as easy and fun so that you can have more ease and fun with health. And that will significantly decrease the resistance that you have around it. Tip number 4 that I have for you is to be more flexible with your health. As I mentioned before, when you embody the health mindset, and when I talk about being healthy always, I'm talking about 80 to 90% of the time. That is always for me. If I'm able to be healthy 80 to 90% of the time, I am super proud of myself. I know that I've done a really good job with that. So that's what you want to tune into when it comes to trying to make health be easy and fun. You want to ask yourself, how can I also be more flexible with this as well? And when you're more flexible with it, it also becomes more easy and fun because the more rigid that you are with it, the more rules that you have around health, the harder it is to have more fun and ease with it. Fun and ease come with flexibility. So you're probably like, okay, what the heck do you mean by this? What I mean when I say be flexible with your health is, say, for example, one of the things that helps you be healthy is that you like to journal. But the thing is that if you like to journal and you want to journal for like 30 minutes every day, that already is a habit that's going to set you up for failure, because the truth is that you're not going to have 30 minutes to journal every single day. So if you want to journal every day, some days you might have 30 minutes, but maybe the other days where you don't have enough time, you're going to write down just one thing that you are grateful for. You're still journaling, you're still doing that healthy habit, you're just not spending as much time on it, and that's okay. You want to have different variations of your different health habits. So for example, maybe, one of the weeks you forget to meal prep and you don't have any healthy food right on hand, so you're eating out more. Now here's the thing. You don't have to go out and get like a burger and fries every single time you have lunch. Maybe you're eating out more, but now you're going and getting bowls, right? You're getting salads and bowls for lunch instead. So you're still being healthy. Yes, you are eating out and you didn't meal prep, but you're still choosing health in that moment. And you're just being more flexible with it. Maybe some days you don't have time to go to the gym. So you're telling yourself, I'm going to go on 15, 20-minute walks throughout the day and make sure I at least get 10,000 steps in. At least you're getting that movement in. The more flexible you can be with health and what it looks like for you moment to moment, the easier it will be for you to be healthy on an everyday basis. The more rigid that you are with your health, the harder it will be for you to be healthy long term. A lot of us, we end up being way too rigid with our health habits, and as a result of that, we don't end up being healthy long term. Last tip, and this ties in so well to this tip that I just shared, is making health be your identity. Starting to identify yourself as a healthy person. For a lot of us, our internal self-talk, I should just have a whole other video on internal self-talk, but we're just so mean to ourselves all the time. And if you're constantly telling yourself, I'm unhealthy, I'm fat, that's a big one for me. I got to stop telling myself that. Working on it. I'm fat, I'm lazy, I never prioritize health. It's so hard to be healthy. I can't be healthy. Tune into these words that you're telling yourself, because these words that you tell yourself are ultimately your reality. They shape your reality. So you really want to make sure that you are being super mindful, and you want to make sure that you, as much as possible, are reminding yourself that you are health. And what's beautiful is that when you start to identify health as an identity, you end up, it makes it easier for you to just choose health on a day-to-day basis. Because what I'll do sometimes, I think about, okay, I'm at lunch with my friends or I'm having dinner. I'm just like, what would health do? Healthy Bisleen. I am health. I am healthy. Because I'm healthy, what choices am I going to make about the foods that I eat? Because I'm healthy, how am I going to show up today? Because I'm healthy, what types of breaks am I going to take if I take breaks? So start seeing yourself as a healthy person and start making choices based off of that. My friends know I'm a very healthy person. So when it comes to food choices, when it comes to the activities and things that they do, They interact with me in those specific ways because they know I am healthy. And they know the health choices that I like to make and the type of person that I am. So very, very important. See health as an identity. You are healthy. You are a healthy person, woman. You are health. And when you wake up, when you go about your day-to-day basis, come back to that. Come back to, what would health do? How can I be healthy in this moment? I am a healthy person, so how do I show up in this moment in a healthy way? And the more that you associate health as an identity, the easier it becomes to be healthy. One of the big things that I want to emphasize, health doesn't have to be hard. I know that some of these external factors that I talked about make it really feel like health is hard, but it really doesn't have to be. Once I started seeing health as easy, that it can be fun, that I'm a healthy person, I can still be flexible with it, everything started to shift with me. So if you can start with those beliefs and that mindset, that's probably the most powerful thing that you can do. And then making sure you're really planning it, being flexible with it, and adding all of those things and making it be an everyday basis will just help you that much more with being healthy. So this is how you do it. This is how you always be healthy. Implement these 5 things. Start with the belief around health and make sure that you believe that health can be easy. Make sure that you believe you're a healthy person, because that is going to help you take the appropriate actions that you need to take on a daily basis to be healthy. Thanks so much for being here, for showing up for yourself. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe if you are a woman who wants to, really heal her brain, own her potential. Subscribe, girl, because more juicy content is going to be coming your way.